Welcome to The Warm-Up, a Bailiwick Express podcast giving you an insight into the sports action that is on the horizon. Welcome to our Warm-Up Muratti special, where we're bringing you insights from the Guernsey and Jersey teams ahead of two huge matches. Guernsey's men and women are both looking to turn the tables on their rivals at Springfield under the backdrop of new voices, new players and fresh approaches. I'm Nick Mann, and I opened up by talking to one of the Sarnian's joint managers, Ryan-Zico Black, and later in the show you'll hear me in conversation with women's manager Anna Gauvain and captain Candice Bougourd. My colleague from the Jersey Evening Post, Stephen Anderson, caught up with their men's boss Elliot Powell and women's manager Chad Morris. Kick-off on Saturday is at 10:30 for the women, and the men's game is at 3:00.
It's been a difficult spell for the Ireland team. Difficult Island games. Haven't won a Muratti for a few years, so I think wanted to instill his confidence. Players really wanting to play for the island. I know that they do because I know a lot of the lads. But yeah, just that enjoyment, really. Enjoyment, good atmosphere, good environment. Trust in place to come in and work hard. All the things that you need to be at your best as a footballer and a team in terms of work ethic, professionalism. So that's the things that we want to bring in.
That's cool. And how much do you get to work with the players ahead of this fixture?
Not as much as we'd like. There is challenges to the role. The season's dragged on forever at every level. So that's meant players have had games. They've had games on training nights, knocks because they played the night before. So there's challenges which I'm sure Jersey will face as well. But yeah, it is what it is. Really, we've tried to make the best out of every situation that we've had, and the squad's been great.
And going more to the squad then, you've got a mix there, a core of GFC players, bringing in some of the club players as well. How have you gone about that selection process?
Selection process has been, we wanted to give everyone a clean slate in terms of if they're playing well, we like them what we see. We've looked at many games, we've looked at a lot of players, we've had big training squads. And then we've just picked what we think's the best out of that large training squads, really. And do we take any confidence? I mean, we've seen Bailiwick go away, win the Upton. That is that a boost? Is that going to make a difference for you? I think it's a boost for sure. It's a boost for Guernsey football. Bailiwick have done great this year. And credit to the coaches, Rommers and Malks and their team for what they've done. They've done great. Does it affect how it is on the Muratti? No, it doesn't really. It's a one-off game. You can't really read into too much in terms of a one-off on the day. It's different to any other game season, and that's why we've selected the players we have, because we think that they are able to perform for Guernsey on that one-off game. I mean, and I guess performance in that environment when you're away in Jersey for that one-off match has got to be difficult, and getting the mentality right. So how do you go about that? Well, we've got a lot of experience in the group. I think we've got more leaders in that group than what we've ever have done in their own ways, and that helps in terms of they've felt what it's like. Many of them have felt what it's like to win. A lot of them have felt what it's like to lose, and what the occasion's about. So, that passes on to the new players and the younger players coming in. I think what Dave and I can give is we've been there and seen it firsthand. We've had all the ups and downs, what it is like being a footballer, and we try and take it into account and put ourselves in the players' shoes as well in everything that we're doing, when we're communicating, when we're having to leave players out of the squad. So that's
And in terms of the opposition as well, have you had one eye on what Jersey have been up to this season, both at club and Jersey Bulls level?
Yeah, I mean, I keep since Jersey Bulls have started, I've kept a lookout on how they're doing and how they're progressing. They've been unlucky this year to miss out. Jersey have done well in the last few. Muratti's done really well in the Island games, so always keeping an eye. And other than this one-off game, I kind of I like to see them do well as well. But obviously that would be different on Saturday. So yeah, keep an eye on them. But again, you can. I don't think there's much value in focusing on the opposition, on who you're playing against. I think it's far more important to focus on yourselves and what you're doing and what you're going to bring to the table on the day.
And broadly, in terms of that, what can we expect from the Guernsey side?
We can expect high energy. We can expect us to be able to. We want to play. We don't want to just go there and lump it and play cagey. So we'll be on the front foot, and we'll be giving it. The lads will be giving it everything they can to play well and get a result.
And what's the mood like in the camp as well?
Really good. It has been since our first session. To be honest, they've kind of I can really sense that they want to be there and they want to play. All of them. There's a lot of disappointment for the lads that didn't get in the squad because it means so much to them to represent Guernsey, and the squad that have been selected, won't be taking anything for granted, and they know what it's all about. We don't need to go into too much detail in terms of having to tell them that. They know it themselves. So it's been great atmosphere.
And just any final thoughts?
Final thoughts, just looking forward to getting on the boat, getting over there, and the game getting started.
We're kind of going into it knowing what to expect. We've obviously got a coaching team that's also been around, whether that be players or coaches of Muratti fixtures as well. So It's not a step into the unknown for us at all. We're fully abreast of what's going to be coming our way. I guess the unknown slightly is that Guernsey, very much like ourselves, have got new management, quite a new look squad as well by the looks of things. We're fully understanding what the game means, what the game will be like. But I guess there's always kind of going to be that little period of feeling each other out for 5-10 minutes at the start, and then I'm sure it'll be a full-blooded Muratti as they all are. Looking
at the team here, pretty strong. I know the good thing was sort of towards the end of the Bulls season, they sort of had most of their players fit. There wasn't a huge amount of injury concerns that they had. Yeah. So I can imagine you had a pretty tough task.
Yeah, look, it's a really difficult choice to pick 22, and it's going to be even tougher on Thursday, Friday to pick 18 out of that. And that's a testament to not only the Bulls but also all of the work the clubs do to produce those players, especially the younger lads that have come in.
Yeah.
Fergus Boyle's done really, really well to kind of be in and around that. I don't think he'll make it into the 18, but that kind of ilk of player shows kind of what good work's still going on at clubs as well. So testament to the quality that we've got on Ireland, and it has been tough. We've got a couple of lads away. A couple of lads carrying knocks.
Obviously Harrison out as well, which is a shame.
Yeah, Harrison out again. He would have maybe struggled to make the 18.
Yeah.
But Jay Giles is probably don't print it, but Jay Giles is probably our biggest concern.
Yeah. He has been
trained yet.
He's been struggling all season, doesn't he, on off, which is tough.
Yeah, and Johnny LeCain doesn't look fully fit either, so bit of a concern at either fullback, but the rest of the team looks really, really sharp.
Looking ahead there, I know you've just said sort of Harrison probably won't make it to the 18, but as you did in the Island games, sort of not limiting yourself to the Jersey Bulls and really appreciating that there is some serious strength in combination football still.
Yeah, exactly. I think lads like Carl Hines will definitely be in that 18.
Yeah.
He's had another phenomenal year. I think over the last 2 seasons he's scored near enough 100 goals. So there's plenty of talent. I think I've said it a number of times now that there's plenty of talent that don't play for the Bulls, whether that be circumstances that don't allow them in terms of life responsibilities, etc., or they just haven't quite fitted in with the system that's been at the Bulls so far. So if they've had good seasons, if they've shown that they've got the mentality and the ability to play in it, it really doesn't matter what kind of strip they're wearing on a Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's what everyone wants to hear from a coach. You don't want to be playing combination football fully aware that you're just going to be frozen out of probably the biggest fixture you can play for your island.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And I think the lads have appreciated that, and also the Bulls lads have been really receptive to that as well. You know, there's new faces coming in, but it gives them a bit of a G-up. It gives them something to prove. It adds fresh energy to the group.
Yeah.
Jack Lumsden's done that by coming into the group. Harrison Moon, Kieran Lester. You know, there's a good mix, I think, in there again. So I'm happy with the dynamic of the squad, and they've gelled really, really quickly as well, which is great.
Obviously, you've got a few experienced heads in there. I know it was Luke Campbell sort of stole the show last season, and it just seems like he never ages. I mean, even for the Bulls in the playoffs, I think he was the best player on the park in Bulls colours. And I mean, you've obviously got the likes of Luke Watson and Kerry in there again. Do you think this is a great opportunity for those heads sort of bouncing back from the disappointment of the Bulls and having a chance to sort of end their season on a bit of a high after what would have been a sort of crushing low?
Yeah, look, all three of those lads you just mentioned are great ambassadors for the local game and for their island. So to have their experience around the group is invaluable. It was invaluable for me in the summer at the Island Games, and you know, whilst I feel like I've got my feet under the table now, there'll be other lads who coming into Saturday haven't been around too many Murattis, and that experience will be absolutely vital. So we're delighted to have them. They're still, you know, add a significant amount of value on the pitch as well with their abilities. So we're really, really fortunate to have lads like those knocking around.
Naturally, all Murattis are tight, but I mean, from your group and sort of seeing how the Bulls have fared and GFC have fared, are you expecting a naturally tight battle?
Possibly, but I think, look, I really want to take the game to Guernsey as much as we can. I'm sure they'll be doing exactly the same. It's got the kind of makings of a great day. Obviously, you have got the women's game before, you've got the men's game all on the same day. Kind of Team Jersey will pulling together. So the last thing we want to do is go out and try and grind out a 1-0.
Yeah.
We've got to try and go and be positive, take the game. You know, the last 6 Murattis I think have been decided by the odd goal or whatever that is.
Yeah.
So there's room for a big dominant performance to come at some point, and we just need to make sure we're on the right side of that.
How much difference has it been having the players together, albeit in a GFC, guys, ahead of this game?
It's all about those girls having some more match experience, really, and getting them confident, being on the pitch, playing together. Whilst it's nice to have them training and doing stuff together on the pitch, it's just really good to get them out there playing 11-a-side football, really.
And how have you seen that side develop?
I think we can see the confidence in the girls, and in the last few games, against the Jersey club sides, I think we can see the girls being more comfortable on the ball, working together more as a team, and putting things into practice that we've spoken about.
I mean, I'm guessing one of the differences this season as well is the number of players that you've had to choose from for this fixture. How difficult has that choice been?
Yeah, really tough. Compared to last year, we had probably a pool of 20 players. Cutting that down to 16 was okay, but this time we're looking at 23, 24 players, and all being of the ability that we want them to be at, and making our decisions quite difficult, actually. So we had a squad of 19, which we've then cut down to 16 just last week, so some disappointed girls, but I think the 16 we've got are nice and strong, nice and balanced across the squad, covering all sorts of positions. So, really happy with what we've got.
You've got a nice mix of experience and some younger players in there as well.
Yeah, we've got Vicky Rang back, who's probably the most experienced alongside Candice and Donna. But when you look at some of those young players that are out there on the pitch, they're actually very mature for their age and really gained a lot of experience over the last year. And watching the Muratti back from last season compared to now, they're they're footballers and they really want to do well, and they've taken on board stuff that we've asked them to do, and yeah, they've come on really well. You
got any players we should be watching out for?
Yeah, well, everyone's going to be looking at the goal scorers, aren't they? So we've got Callie, who's banging those goals in more recently, but we mustn't forget that we didn't have Callie all season. So with her injury, she was out, so it gave some others an opportunity to come in and play. So yeah, a couple of other girls have popped up with the goals, but it's going to be about a team performance on the day, and I hope that 3 girls at the back perform as well as they did the other week, and our goalkeeper helps us out as well.
And in terms of looking at the Jersey side as well, you've had some experience going over playing against the club sides there. What challenge are you expecting from them?
It's going to be a physical challenge. It's going to be a bit of a battle. They've got some quality players, and you say we've had some experience of playing against their club sides, but not collectively as a Jersey squad. We haven't seen much of what they've got all together representing Jersey. So we know there's going to be some standout players to watch out for. But yeah, it's 11 players against 11 players on the pitch, so we'll hope that everyone's up for the battle and see what we can do.
History isn't really on our side in this fixture if we look back over the run of games. How are you going to change that?
It's still a bit of a work in progress. I'm not expecting us to be out, we're definitely the underdogs. What we're looking for is a performance. We're setting up the girls in a way that hopefully it will be quite an exciting game, and just putting little targets in our head and in the girls' minds to achieve little things. And this is still start of a journey that Katie, Scott and I only took on just over a year ago, so there's a long way to go yet, but I'm hoping it will be an improvement on performances that we've had in the past.
From your standpoint there, is it a case of just trying to continue staying focused? I mean, it's a game that I'd imagine the girls don't really need any reminding or convincing as to what it means.
No, I mean every Muratti is a brand new game, isn't it? It doesn't really matter what's happened the year before.
Yeah.
It's like another standalone game.
Yeah.
They definitely don't need any like geeing up for the game, because the fact that it's Guernsey and the word Muratti's in it, that's enough to get the blood pumping and I'm ready for the game.
The County Cup sort of serves as massive for experience from your standpoint.
From a learning experience, so with a young squad that we've got majority, sort of teenagers, early 20s, with a little bit of a sprinkle of experience in there, one of the things we all agreed on from the Island Games was we've got a good technical, tactical team. It was the experience, resilience that we had to work on, and you only get that with playing games together.
Definitely.
Together, playing games, going through experiences. And we've had all of them in the County Cup. Some of the teams we played against with tier 3, 4 and 5 players. Every game is so competitive. You've got to dig in, you've got to battle. Yeah. Then you've got, the roller coaster of emotions during a game, where that's going a goal down, a goal up. It all serves for sort of for building resilience.
If you cast your mind back to the Island Games last season, do you think the squad's in a much better place from a mentality standpoint? I'd imagine standard-wise, we sort of had the discussion and the technical ability, etc., was there. But do you just think, in terms of a squad and that mentality and that sort of instilling that in the team, do you think that's got far stronger since last summer?
Basically, there's no way. Years gone by, I think I've said this before, playing in the County Cup when we were getting beaten 7-0.
Yeah.
Now we're playing in these games, coming up against hard players, coming up against tough things that happen in the game, whether it's decisions, whether we've gone a goal down, have to fall back, or we've been a goal up and someone's equalised. It just puts us in a much. Well, I'm trying to think what's the phrase like? We're more of a hard-nosed team.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a bit more grit.
So mentality, we're a lot more hard-nosed. Things don't bother us as much. We can get back to an even mental state quicker.
Yeah.
So I suppose in sports terms, that's what resilience is.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Being able to get back to your sort of optimum mental state as quickly as you can, whether that's stop yourself getting too high in a game, getting too low, get back to being able to concentrate, what your roles and responsibilities are.
Yeah, for sure.
You can only do that with experience in it.
From my records, it's been 15 years since Guernsey last won a women's Muratti Vase. So, I mean, is there added pressure there to sort of, in the sense that Guernsey are probably coming over nothing to lose, and there's natural pressure on you probably to do what everyone's expecting you to do?
Yeah, I suppose, but like I said before, we take every good cliche, but we take every Muratti that comes. We don't think about years before. We just concentrate on the game we're going to play and the team we're going to be up against. Yeah. So this year we know Guernsey have been away. They've played in their Combined Counties Cup. Yeah. They've been over here and played in the Jersey FA Cup, and so off the back of that, we've seen them play. Seen them play 4 times. We've seen footages of them and got the footage and watched that another couple of times. I've spoke to the manager of AFC Crawley, who they played against. Yeah. So we give them the respect they deserve.
Yeah, for sure.
By having a full rundown on them.
I think we're kind of in the best position that we've been for a long time, so we're really hoping to give a competitive game to Jersey.
And you say you're in the best position you've been in for a long time. What makes you say that?
With GFC, we've had a lot of competitive games this season where in the past there's been a lack of games for us to play before the Muratti. We've come off the back of the Island Games from last year as well. So, yeah, I think we're in the best position that we've been for a long time.
I mean, are you starting to see more resilience in the side because of that match experience?
Yeah, we've definitely grown as a squad over the last year. We competed well at the Island Games, and we've only kind of grown from there, really.
Obviously, you've played a few of the Jersey club sides, had good result the other week in the Cup. How does that play on people's minds and the players' confidence as well?
I think it brings us nothing but confidence. We've played against players that we're going to be playing against at the weekend, and we know we can do well against them, so hopefully.
And what's the expectation?
I think we'll give them a really competitive game. We're going to go out to win, and we'll be disappointed if we don't win, but we're kind of still building.
Yeah, and I guess it's very much part of a journey, both with GFC and with the Island side as well, because you've got it's the first time GFC have played together, whole season behind you now, and looking to the future as well.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to the future. I think we're only going to get better and compete more against Jersey.
And I guess squad depth as well is something that's a big difference this time round compared to last season.
Yeah, we're definitely numbers at training for Guernsey FC, interest in kind of academy players as well. Got lots of young girls coming through, so it's only going to add to the competitiveness of the squad.
That was the warm-up. Thanks again for listening. Please like and subscribe for more. You can find all our sports news on gsy.bailiwickexpress.com and on all our social channels. Sign up to our daily email to keep up to date on all the work the Express team does.